Hi everyone, in this video we will see how to use the if function in Excel. The if function is a powerful decision making tool. In this video we will see the various ways in which you can use if. By the end of this video you will be able to handle any if statement. So what does if function do? It basically checks for a condition, and if the condition is true it returns one value, and if it's false it returns another value. You can look at the structure or syntax of the if statement. It checks for a condition, and if the condition passes it will return one value, otherwise it returns another value. So here we'll see one example, a basic example of how to use if statement. Here we will check the scores for these students, and depending on the score it will return pass or fail as the result. So let's just say, and here in this case we want E9. We'll check for the value of E9. If it's greater than 70 then pass, otherwise it will fail. So in this case the value is greater than 70, so it returns pass. So I copied the formula onto the other cells. Now in this case the value is 62, which is less than 70, so it shows fail. It shows pass, less than 70, greater than 70, so it shows the right value. So this is how if statement works in Excel. We'll see one more example. In this case we will work with numbers. So here are some sales figures. Depending on the sales amount we'll calculate commission, and this is the formula we will use. If the sales is over $5,000, the commission earned will be 500, else it will be 100. I'll copy the formula here, and this is E18, so I will change the cell to E18. Shows 500, which is correct. I'll copy the formula to the other cells. So in this case it's 500, this is less than 5,000, so 100, greater than 5,000, 500, less than 5,000, 100, and this is 500. So the values are correct. So this is a practical scenario where you tend to work with numbers, so if statement comes in handy in such cases. Next we'll see how to use nested if function in Excel. In nested if, basically you use one if function inside another if function. You do this so that you can evaluate multiple conditions in one single formula. Let's see how to use nested if using some examples. So here I have some temperature in Fahrenheit, and based on that I'll say whether the weather outside is cold, hot or warm. So this is the example of the nested if statement. So you have the first if statement, the condition. If it's true then you say hot. So if the temperature is greater than 80 you say hot, else you use another if statement to see whether the temperature is greater than 60 and less than 80. So if the temperature is between 80 and 60 you will say it's warm, but if even a second condition fails you will say it is cold. I'll use the formula here. So for 85 it says hot. So if D6 is greater than 80, yes it is 85, so it is greater than 80, it will show hot. The second part will not get executed. Next I'll copy the formula onto the second one. Here the temperature is 72, it is not greater than 80, so it will not show hot. It will go into the second part. It will again check the condition if the temperature is greater than 60. So it basically means if the temperature is greater than 60 and less than 80. So yes, the temperature is greater than 60 but it is less than 80, so it will show warm. And finally 45 degrees is cold. Why? Because is the temperature greater than 80? No, so it will go to the second part, second if statement. Is the temperature greater than 60? No, so it will not show warm, it will show cold. So this is an example of a nested if function. We'll see another example which is more practical and probably used in day-to-day scenario. So here we'll look at various sales figures, and based on that we'll say how the performance is. So we'll say that if the sales is greater than 10,000, say the performance is excellent. If not, is the sales figure greater than 5,000? If yes, then say the performance is good. If it is not even 5,000, then you say it needs improvement. So I'll take this and I'll put here. Sales amount is 12,000. Is it greater than 10,000? Yes. So it shows excellent. For the second one, it shows good. The first part checks if it's greater than 10,000. No, it is not. So it will go to the second part. Is the sales greater than 5,000? Yes, it is. But it is less than 10,000. So it will show good. So here it means it is greater than 5,000 but less than 10,000. So it will show good. Finally, I'll copy it here. The sales figure is 3,200. So the first condition is not met. The second if statement, even that condition is not met. So it will show needs improvement. So this is how nested if function works in Excel. When working with nested if function, you need to be careful about making errors. So for instance, you have to be careful with the parenthesis. So if you miss a parenthesis, then we'll get an error. In this case, Excel itself is trying to correct the error, so you can say yes. So another common mistake that people do is they miss the quotes. In this case, if you remove the quotes, so it will give you an error. It does not recognize the text which is not in quotes. I'll do Control Z. Nested if can get complicated if you use too many ifs within the if statement. So if that's what you need to do, then a better alternative is to use the if-s function, which I have covered in another video. You can take a look at that. So these are some commonly made errors that you need to be careful of. You can also use if function with other functions. So for example, here I'm checking if the score, this column, is blank or not. So you check that by saying if is blank. If something is blank, say empty or it has data. So here we are using another function is blank. So here you have 85, so it shows has data. If I remove 85, it will show empty. I'll do Control Z. Similarly, here within the if function, I'm checking for the length of the cell. So if the length is greater than 10, say it's long, else say it's short. So in this case, this is short. I'll increase it so it will become long. You can use several other functions. You can use the AND function. That means you can check the marks of multiple subjects. You can even use OR to check values in multiple columns. So basically you can use other functions within the if function. So in this video we looked at how to use the if function, the nested if function, and the mistakes that are commonly encountered when using a nested if function. There's also the if-s function, which I have covered in another video that is useful for handling multiple conditions. So feel free to check that out. If you like this video, do subscribe to our channel or comment with questions. Thanks for watching the video.